What's your flavor? Tell me what's your flavor? What's your flavor? Tell me what's your flavor? What's your flavor? What's your flavor? Tell me what's your flavor?
G'day everyone, you're listening to the AussieDevs podcast. So it's our first episode of the year, and my name's Glenn, and I'm joined by my co-host Eric.
As always.
Yeah. So like I said, first episode of the year, get the ball rolling. We're going to talk about the Global Game Jam, which is happening in a couple of days' time.
January 20 to 22nd.
Certainly is.
Yeah.
We'll go into that in a minute. Just a bit of a shout out to Stirfire Studios, which is a Perth-based studio, who are doing really well with their VR game Symphony of the Machine. Talk about the Forbes have released the 30 under 30, which we'll also talk about, and the Australian representing the games industry in that list. We'll also chat about a game that we've tested and a little bit about a game dev theory, how to create an experience
and stuff like that. So all games, basically, all games want to have an experience to portray to the user. So we'll be going in depth with that and basically just showing you how you can have or emulate an experience through your game.
Well, I mean, that's the whole reason why people play games, right? I mean, it's a storytelling medium or experience. I'm biased because I like narrative, as I've said a few times. But yeah, it's like an escape. You want to create dimension. You want to create some way for people to escape their boring lives. No.
Unless, of course, they're like lotto millionaires.
Yeah,
you can just
unless they're
throw money around
earning millions of dollars.
Yeah, so that's basically 99% of the population right there.
So we'll crack on with news. So yeah, the Global Game Jam, for those who aren't aware, is basically a 48-hour global, as the name suggests, game jam, developing sort of...
Yeah, a little competition. I don't think it's really a competition. Everyone wins because they end up, I guess, increasing their network of developers and also creating something unique and something fun to play with afterwards. So
the real winner is gaming.
There's always a winner.
It's like when, like the real winner is sports. So you get together with a team and you kind of get locked into one place.
Into a room, and then you just basically have to beat all the other teams, and then you're allowed out.
What 4 teams enter, 1 man leaves.
What was that movie?
It's like the Thunderdome.
Yeah, is it Thunderdome?
Mad Max 2, Thunderdome? Return of the Thunderdome?
I don't know. Did they have like an arena where they had to fight to the death?
Tina Turner Tina Turner was in it? Mad Max 2.
I haven't actually watched all
3
Mad Max ones.
We need to figure that out. Anyway,
it's like Hunger Games, but for like game devs.
I think we've already officially lost it.
Battle Royale. Have you seen
the Japanese?
Yeah.
It was like the pre-Hunger Games, and that's what they were saying that the lady who wrote the Hunger Games ripped off Battle Royale.
I don't know. Maybe she was inspired by
it. Well, Battle Royale is a bit more. Well, I was going to say more brutal, but the whole premise is the same. Like kids all go and kill each other.
Yeah, and it was wrapped up in one movie instead of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
What is a game jam? Jam is a reference to musical jam sessions, not traffic or spreadable fruit.
I don't know. That's my jam, though.
That's my jam.
That's my jam.
So anyway, you essentially get locked into this venue for 48 hours. You get given a briefing at the start to tell you what the theme is and what the game's about. And then you basically have 48 hours to crack on and make a game.
Yeah, so it kind of runs over 3 days. The first day is like your registration and getting to know each other and stuff like that. And the next 2 days are basically creating and collaborating with your team to push out an indie developed game, I guess. Yeah. So it sounds pretty...
Yeah, so...
I think it's pretty fun. I think that's one way to make up a team, especially if you're like a solo developer. You've got experience making games. You do a lot of stuff by yourself, but sometimes it's good to have like multiple eyes and stuff like that. And having a deadline for a game, like 2 days.
Just get together and pitch ideas, and that's what the whole, like Eric said before, it's about networking and kind of getting together with like-minded people, especially if you're, for example, I'm going to use Perth as an example because that's where we live, but it's a relatively small gaming community.
Yep.
You get together with people, you'll get to know everyone. You'll probably know people who are there anyway if you're in the gaming scene and you're attending this. So
if you've got a few idols as well, or you know a few people who are very skilled in like a particular aspect of game dev, such as like music or like the audio development kind of thing, or the graphics, you could like team up with them and see what kind of stuff you can make. I think that's pretty awesome.
I mean, we've never been to one, and we were talking before about it'd be pretty cool next year for us to go just have a crack. I mean,
Participate.
I'm still really early stages of learning game dev. You know, I've been playing around with Unity and Blender and all that sort of stuff.
Fun with that.
Eric's seasoned pro.
Not at all. But you know what? I think we could consider like this whole period from now up till the next 2018 Game Jam as our 1 year Game Jam. Just the two of us.
1 whole year of jam. Delicious jam.
We don't have as much restrictions as the 2-day Game Jam. Yeah, so it's funny just reading through the site. This will be linked on our website as well in the show notes. But it's just funny how there's like a little bit of a disclaimer from the organizers, just stating that you got to look after yourself.
It's like bring your own food and water and sleeping
remember
equipment.
to eat and sleep and stay healthy.
Like that's like bring drinks, and like water is specified as. Make sure you bring water. Don't just like bring 42 cans of Monster because you will die.
Yeah, it reminds me of that South Park episode where they were playing World of
World of
Warcraft.
Warcraft, yeah.
And Cartman had his mum bring down like a bucket so he can
Crap it
defecate.
up. Yeah.
I don't think they'll allow that, but
Yeah, I'm guessing there's toilets at these venues.
yeah. So the one there's a lot of locations because obviously it's a global one. Perth, I think, is at the SAE Institute.
Yes,
in
it
Northbridge.
certainly is.
Yeah.
That's
So all
a
those
fact.
Perths, yeah. All around Australia, there's Melbourne, Sydney as well.
I think by the time this podcast probably comes out, it's probably too late.
Yeah, you'll have 1 day to...
1 whole day. But it's just kind of good for people to know, like in the future, if you're trying to make games at the moment or you're looking to get into the industry, it's a cool thing to go down to. It seems really supportive. Like I said, I haven't been, so I don't know from experience, but the website seems really supportive. And from the people that I have met in the Perth scene, like everyone seems pretty supportive. So don't be scared to go down and have a crack. If you think, oh, I'm not going to go because I'm not good enough, I don't know enough or whatever. Just
give it a go. There's no losing with this, really. You all gain a bit of knowledge as well. And, I mean, there's a lot of amazing games from the 2016 one. We're just having a look through. There's like 6,000 plus entries for that.
6,867.
Yeah, and a whole bunch. They cover a whole bunch of different themes and genres for puzzles and like the RPG games as well. So
Trivial Pursuit.
so good. Like whatever your flavor is and whatever your teammates decide
It's
to
the
go
second
through.
time you've used flavour. And
Is
then
it?
the second time. No, is it?
No, this is my first flavor.
Because now all I can think of is Craig David.
Yeah, we were singing that before.
Sorry. What we
Events.
should do is next episode, if they've released the games that people have done and everything, we should have a little look and see what was done in Australia and Perth. And
Yeah, any excuse to play games. I
shout
think
out
would
to
be,
the people who participated. I mean, I don't know if they have that information as to who they are, but they definitely have the games that were created. So we'll check it out, and hopefully next episode we can shout out to those guys. And
I think Let's Make Games will be covering this as well.
of course they will.
Yeah,
They're covering it. They always
100%.
cover that stuff.
They're on the ball.
All over it.
Yeah, check it out. Website will be up on our show notes. Otherwise, it's just globalgamejam.org. Stirfire.
So,
Gotta love the stuff they do.
well, that's the other next thing we were rolling into. It's not really new game news. I think I talked about it a few episodes ago after I went to the Let's Play in Perth, or Play Up Perth, I think it is. Sorry, yep. And the studio called Stirfire Studios, and they've created a VR game called Symphony of the Machine,
Which is available on PlayStation and
PlayStation VR, and it looks like a beautiful game. We didn't really. It's like I said, it's not new news, but just
what
wanted
it
to.
highlighted is.
Yeah.
It's very well made. I've been looking at some of the videos. I don't actually own a PlayStation.
No,
because I'm
neither.
yeah.
Hopefully, my new rig will be able to support Oculus,
Oh.
which would be cool. I'm building a new PC.
I'm pretty sure your graphics. You got the 1070.
1070, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's got. VR support.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, I mean, I splurged on a new computer.
You got to
Can't
treat
eat
yourself.
for a month now. But,
It's just need a rent.
and hopefully now when I try and do 3D rendering and modeling, it actually works. It doesn't take 10 minutes to rotate the camera or the viewpoint. So
Don't try that on a Sony Vaio. That's
yeah,
a little
lesson 1: don't use a Sony Vaio to do 3D modeling,
especially a 5-year-old one. I'm surprised you got far with that. Anyway, Symphony of the Machine. Yeah, that's pretty good. Like,
it's essentially like a puzzle game. Because it's VR, it's obviously from the perspective of yourself, the first person.
Yeah,
I can't believe I had to think about that. And you've got to basically solve puzzles in this VR landscape
by manipulating objects that you have up there with you.
Yeah, and like redirecting beams of light to power different sort of obstacles or objects in the game. And I think like Symphony of the Machine is one of the nice things. It's got a really nice soundtrack, or at least in the videos that we've watched, have nice little soundtrack, and it's a full experience.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the good things. You don't really see that in too many like these quick fix games and stuff like that.
Well, when I went to the Play Up Perth event, that's what the spokesperson said. It's like the first sort of VR, or the VR game they wanted to make that would sort of like immerse you in the game, and wasn't one of these like fast-paced action games, or wasn't like a roller coaster ride. It was something that you could just put the headset on and you take your time and you sort of zone out and you solve these puzzles and you look at the landscape and look around and you listen, and it's kind of like an immersive experience.
That's it. It
chills out. It chills out rather than like fast-paced action. So I mean,
it's very different, because I think if you look at the split between genres, you find a lot of games that are all those action based, something that gets the heart racing.
So just check it out. If you've got PlayStation VR, I would. If I had PlayStation, I don't have a PlayStation, I have an Xbox. Sorry. And I would get PlayStation VR if I was made of money. But yeah.
Definitely check it out. It looks like a very interesting game. It was in PAX as well. It was exhibited in PAX.
It certainly was. They do really well. Like, I mean, to get on the PlayStation Network as a VR game is obviously a pretty big achievement for those guys. And looking at it, it's like a beautiful piece of work. Like, they've obviously put a lot into it, their heart and souls into it, and you know,
and it shows in the final product. So.
I mean, I'm saying that most people don't, but you know, if you're a full-time studio and you're able to do that,
I don't know about us, man.
I don't have a soul.
I don't have a heart. You don't have a soul.
But yeah, that's our second piece of news we wanted to talk about. The third thing we wanted to talk about was the Forbes 30 under 30, which showcases the 30 people under 30 years old in different categories that are kind of leading the way in the world stage. There's arts and there's Hollywood and business and all sorts of different things. But there's also a category called games, and our very own Australian Lisy Kane.
She made it. She's
on there. She's on there. You've done well.
Congratulations.
High five, Lizzie.
Very nice.
Yeah, so the only Australian, unfortunately she's from Melbourne, but we'll forgive her. So not only is she in the 30 under 30 list,
just a list of her accomplishments. She's having a look at her bio, not stalkerish. This is on the Forbes website, so she's got the profile there. But she's accomplished a lot in the game dev space there. So she's indie. She's a part of the indie studio League of Geeks, and we've checked out, and they got like some pretty awesome. Armello,
which is cool. It's like the word we're looking for, anthropomorphic animals. Yeah, so animals that are like people and they've got swords and stuff.
I think that's a flavour. That's got to be the flavour for the last 5 years, though.
Second test of flavour. That was your second.
Yeah, there you go. You can.
What's your flavour? Ooh.
I'm gonna play that soundbite.
Have to.
What's your flavor? What's your flavor?
Anyway, it's like a turn-based strategy type game with card elements also involved.
Yeah, it reminds me of like the Sydney strategy turn-based stuff.
But anyway, I digress.
We digress.
So she's part of that studio. Where there's a bunch of the people that founded that. Founded in 2011. So it's been going for about 6 years now, obviously, because it's 2017.
Yeah, she's also a co-founder of the Girl Geek Academy, and we were just talking about this whole STEM.
You sound so good. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Mathematics, and these are like what's the word, like
STEM?
No, they're like educational routes.
They're like the main science and like technology, like STEM pathways. They're the main things that are going to like
pathways that you can
further
educate
society.
yourself.
Is that going to make sense? Like, you know, you need scientists and people who focus on technology and mathematics.
You need technologists
and energy and stuff, technologists in order to further society. I mean,
yeah.
And traditionally, all of these have been dominated by the males, especially engineering. So there's definitely a really big push within Australian society and government and everything like that to try and get more women involved in these STEM courses, because, I mean, diversity is going to encourage all sorts of different thinking, and, you know, you have more diverse work groups or study groups or whatever, you're going to get more diverse range of ideas.
It's a different perspective from different people.
It's quite, like, we work in the mining industry, and it's quite strange to think that 5 years ago, probably, it was a bit of a, maybe 10 years of different workplace. Like, I think mining's come a long way in
diversification and stuff like that, yeah.
In terms of diversification and, you know, more women in the workforce.
Yeah, there's a strong drive for that in the last 5 years, especially.
It makes sense, right? Like I said before, you get people, not necessarily just gender diversity, but also ethnicities and different religions and things like that. It makes sense. You get people from different aspects of life who have different points of view on things. Come together, you can discuss ideas and discuss how you can manage things better, and you're going to get different perspective.
Lisy Kane, she's the co-founder of this Girl Geek Academy. And I guess this is encouraging girls, ladies, to start up in that tech space.
And
I think that's awesome.
I think gaming, like, obviously there's that traditional stigma of like, oh, girl gamers, you know, all the memes online and stuff, like, girl gamers, they're not real gamers, you know.
Gamer
like,
grills, hot gamer grills?
Yeah.
Is that the thing? Is that an actual picture of a grill?
Like a cooktop grill?
Yeah. Well, that was one of the memes.
Meme. Yeah, so I don't really, I think there's a lot of, you see a lot more women involved now. Like, I mean, I don't work in the industry per se. We just sort of do our own thing.
We play a lot of games.
Yeah, but in terms, I'm sure the awareness is there more now. Like, we want more women in gaming. Like, why wouldn't you?
Everyone should just play games. It actually helps them relax, I think. Some of the games.
That's how. Wow. Unless you're playing Dark Souls.
Yeah, that would.
Then you don't, or like then you don't relax. But
no, I've seen some funny stuff.
So much rage.
There's so many funny clips of, like, have you watched Rick and Morty?
Yeah, I love me some Rick and Morty.
Mr. Meeseeks, the guy comes out of the box and helps him with a task. These guys in Dark Souls just running around as Mr. Meeseeks.
Mr. BC.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks.
Mr. BC. Man, I love Rick and Morty. Can't wait for the third season.
Yeah, same. That's going to be on Netflix soon, I hope. Because I've just binged watched.
Anyway, so good on you, Lisy Kane. That's a really good achievement, and you should be proud of what you've accomplished.
And the team as
well. And your team, yeah. Like, I mean, you know, she's part of a team. They've obviously helped each other on the way, and it should be celebrated. So
Nice. You've tested out a game as well, haven't you, Glenn?
Yeah, we did a little bit. Dabbled with a game called Into the Sky, which is a mobile game available on Android by was it S01 dev, and basically you have to.
It's a puzzle game.
It's a puzzle game.
Yeah,
it's a puzzle game.
I like it. It's nice and slow, so it's a kind of relaxing game.
Something timer. Take time. You've got to push game pieces around.
These guys love their lasers.
Yeah,
I've seen the rest of their games. It's all laser based.
There's little boxes that generate lasers, and you've got to essentially make the laser beam hit the target by moving mirrors and the things that produce the lasers and stuff like that. Pretty simple concept and
executed very well. I've watched you play it as well because I don't actually have an Android device on me.
Yeah. So, and what I enjoyed about it was, yeah, like you said, it's quite simple controls. Tap where you want to push the boxes. Makes you think a little bit, and obviously gets progressively harder. It's one of those games that as you go through the levels, it gets harder.
Yeah.
It's free to play with a pay to get rid of the ads option, which I would suggest doing because the ads
drove you up the wall.
Oh, yeah. Like
it's good ad revenue.
Well, exactly. Like I mean, you've got to expect people to be able to pay for their game, right?
Or get a little bit back for the effort they put in.
$1.99 to buy the game AUD is well worth the annoyance of the ads. Whatever, it's $2. That's not even a coffee. It's like a half a coffee.
That's like a cup.
$2 is nothing. You'll find $2 in your car floating around.
Yeah.
So I would recommend you pay for it if you're going to play this game. And it's a good game. Like most of the games we have reviewed have actually been mobile games.
Yeah, because the accessibility is just there, and I think that's what we're going to see a lot in the future. And it's already here now, obviously. But just having that device on you all the time, you can whip out one of these games.
Well, I was chatting to some guys I know recently, a little gaming club we've got, and we're talking about playing Diablo 2. And we were saying we're pretty sure that you can now play Diablo 2 on tablet.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw that as well. I've got to look that up. But
that is my shit, hey? Like, Diablo 2, when I was in year, 10 in high school, showing my age now, was the shit.
Excuse me.
Bless you. Yeah, man, I love that game. I love it now. I still think it's a classic game. I think it's got some really good elements to it. It's good fun. Yeah, man, I love me some Necromancer.
Yeah, the Necromancer with all these golems. And
hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen. Oh, the Deckard Cain. Man, I love that game.
I don't know. I was partial to the Amazon. I remember rolling quite a few Amazonian characters.
Yeah, I'm never into the whole ranged combat.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, Necromancer could be ranged. I'm always I think I first mained for Barbarian when I first played.
Oh yeah, because you could dual wield the two handers.
Man, dual wield is the shit.
It just looked pretty impressive.
Get Wart's leg. But yeah. And then I got to be into some Necromancer, and I just like the whole concept. I've always liked the concept of Necromancers
because you just have that army.
Yeah, you just raise. I always go skeleton tree.
Yeah.
Raising all the skeletons,
mages and stuff.
Just you just hang back and watch your army slaughter everyone.
Yeah, bone spear, bone wall. Oh, speaking of which, Diablo 3, there's an expansion. There's a celebration. 10-year celebration, I think it was for Diablo or something like that.
Oh, really?
But they are releasing the Necromancer on Diablo 3. So it's coming out.
I got Diablo 3 on my Xbox. I might have to get it on my new PC.
Yeah, you gotta get it.
Actually, I don't know. I've been thinking about what I'm going to get on PC because I haven't had a PC since then, right? So since that's
been a while. That's 20 years?
How old are we? How old are you in year 10? 15?
In year 10, we probably
15.
around 15-ish.
How old are we now? 15 years.
It's been a while.
Oh, shit.
That's half your life, man.
Holy shit. My formative years. Yeah, man. I'm thinking, what am I going to get on PC? What games am I going to get?
There's a lot coming out for 2017. A lot of good ones. High-end...
well, I've got a good graphics card, right?
Yeah.
And
AAA titles.
So I'm looking forward to some ultra settings.
Get some nice screenshots.
I'm definitely getting the new Skyrim just because I enjoyed Skyrim.
Is that the
remastered? It's
yeah.
not new, but it's remastered. I enjoyed Skyrim, the original. So anyway,
we've digressed again.
Anyone want to shout out some good PC games that I should get on board with?
We should start a poll.
Especially any small dev stuff, AussieDevs. If you're making a PC game and you want me to play it, let me know and I will play it. If I will say right here, right now, if people tell me their game and they're making a game and you message us, either email us or at AussieDevs@gmail.com or shout out to us at Twitter at AussieDevs, which is our Twitter handle.
Yep, on Twitter.
On Twitter? I'm going to say Twitter another time. I will buy your game and I will play it. And I will review it and I will tell you about it.
That's one user straight up.
One whole person. Anyway, yeah, because I've played consoles my whole life and now I'm converting to Master Race. I'm going to keep my Xbox. because I like my console.
Yeah, just up on the shelf collecting dust.
For some FIFA.
Yeah.
If I want to get some sports game in, I don't really like FIFA.
I've still got my 64 there, ready to play Smash Brothers.
So I digress one more time. What about the Nintendo Switch had their press
Yes,
release?
that's all. Yeah,
Dude, $460 bucks Australian.
yeah, that's quite.
I'm
That's
sorry,
a console
I'm not paying
right
that.
there.
I was thinking
You
300.
just wait.
I was thinking 300 AUD,
Yeah,
but 300 US. And
I think Gray got pretty close to that. Wasn't he saying 400?
yeah, he might have said actually one of our previous podcasts, Gray Saunders, our guest. We'll have to review it. But I'm sorry, Nintendo. I've just bought a new computer. I can't buy the Switch.
Yet.
Not yet.
I might try it, and then we can.
I like the whole idea of Nintendo, right? It's been like the party console.
Yeah, something. Group of friends.
Wii U, group of friends. Like, I like the idea that you can pair sort of like 4 of them together and play Mario Kart on your own little screen.
Yeah,
or
yeah, that's
like
gonna be
system linked type thing.
no screen cheating.
And no screen cheating. Split screen. Mario Kart is Mario Kart? No. Sorry, no. Mario Kart is coming out. That's what I just said. Zelda, the new Zelda game.
Oh yeah,
That looks boss.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Zelda.
Zelda's pretty
Come
good.
on, everyone.
You grew up with Zelda, and it's still going.
Ocarina of Time, man. That's my jam.
Yeah, that's like the classic.
The classic. And they'll probably release a new Pokemon game.
Those are always.
You know what they do need? They need like open world Pokemon game. I think we talked about this last time as well. I would play the shit out of an open world Pokemon game.
That sounds like Pokemon Go, except it just needs more features.
Except Pokemon Go without me having to exercise. Sorry, we're really into digression.
We just have a lot to cover because we've had like the whole Christmas to think about stuff to do and mention. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been busy as well, man.
Have you set any goals for 2017?
No.
No.
We should do some goal setting.
Yeah,
Our next episode should talk about goal setting.
I think we did talk about doing a lot more of these casts.
I think we talked about goal setting last episode.
Yeah.
But I think
Hang on, wasn't that part of the time management section?
Yeah, I think we talked about our lack of time management.
It's a bit hard to break one of those trends, you know.
I think our commitment was to do one of these once a fortnight. That's our goal. At least we're already doing one once a month, once a fortnight, even if it's an interview, a small 10-minute one, or just release something for people to listen to.
Because we know you guys like to find out how we're traveling. Quick update, guys. Just make my lunch.
I had a sandwich today. It was nice.
There's a lot of vloggers like on YouTube, I'm pretty sure, and all they do is just. But did we talk about this as well?
What
like
we're doing now,
stuff?
just talking crap.
Yeah, and people would listen and be like, I wonder what crap they did.
Did they use cream cheese on their sandwich?
Oh, I'll tell you what we did do today. You made some pretty stellar dinner.
Yeah. You know what I have been enjoying a lot of lately as well? Bagels with cream cheese.
Are you going like the full American style breakfast, aren't you?
Yeah, man. Bagel with cream cheese.
Bagels are the business over there.
Like, yeah, man. I love me some bagel. It's good.
I didn't really try too much. I think I had it once or twice, and I was just like, I could do with like some toast and butter instead. I would do some fairy bread.
I don't know. It's like bagel is where it's at.
Yeah. So I guess leading up to the next and probably the final topic is experience. How did that bagel make you feel? What kind of
released some pretty deep emotional feelings within me.
Did you just feel satisfied afterwards?
Yeah, I did actually.
Is it a memory that you stored? You know that like movie Inside Out with all the animations and stuff like that? Yeah. So they create like core memories?
Yeah. Well, it had poppy seeds on it. I like the poppy seeds.
Yeah. Aren't they like drugs?
Yes. Yep. Poppy seeds.
Opiates, right?
Opiates.
Yeah, that's right.
You have to eat a lot of poppy seeds though.
Yeah, and you'd actually get a reading.
Yeah.
Probably
I don't know. There's a lot. Anyway, we'll digress once more.
So, I guess this episode has that the game dev theory about experiences, creating an experience, because every game that you play, you kind of want to bring forth an experience or like portray an experience to the users. What's the point of playing a game if you're not going to learn anything from it or you're not going to experience anything from it?
Well, it's like it's like watching a movie or reading a book. So it's an art medium, right? So it's a medium to convey a story or emotion or a feeling or something like that. Because the way I see it, like personally, games is it's there to provoke a response from people. Like, we all kind of have those games that you've played and you've thought, oh man, I really love that game, or it makes you feel something. I don't have a PlayStation, but I played on a mate's PlayStation, The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Man, so many feels in that game.
Yeah. Okay, so that's basically a zombie survival, like a apocalypse,
essentially. And like we all kind of have those games that we played either growing up or even now, which you kind of remember, and you remember the storyline, and you remember that it made you feel something. Because if you feel and have an emotional response to something, you're going to remember it. Yeah.
So it's got to be compelling. You want to create like a compelling, memorable experience, or portray that to the users. Yeah.
And I mean, how do you do that? That's the $1 million question, right?
Well, there's a few ways. I know everyone, and I kind of probably shouldn't say everyone. Everyone's got at least a few senses, right? Your sight, your hearing, your touch. And you can do that through your games as well. So, like Glenn said, artwork and stuff like that, depicting situations using the graphics, and also playing Symphony of the Machine did that very well with the sounds.
Yeah, like I said, we hadn't played it, but watching the YouTube videos, or the videos they put up there, kind of it evokes a response.
Yeah. So every time you've it's like a user feedback. So the developers want you to hear a certain sound when you make a move, and they want that sound to bring forth a bit of emotion from you guys. So if you do something right and it comes up with like a cheery sound, that's going to probably make it memorable for you.
Like positive reinforcement.
Yeah, that's right. And like, I don't know, people have different experiences. I don't know if you've done something really nice in your life. I don't think we have. But that kind of sound can trigger that, then bring forth emotions and memories from you as well. So
I mean, not that there's much out there like smell-o-vision, but a lot of memories tied to smell. Like you'll a particular smell, say you'll remember the smell of your grandma's house or something like that. And what that'll do is that'll trigger certain memory responses, like or and the same thing with auditory things, like or visual things. You see something, it'll trigger a memory. Yeah. You hear something, it'll trigger a certain memory, and that's kind of, I suppose, to me, that's the kind of aim that you would get with games. With games, like you want people, depending on what kind of game you're making, like a horror game, for example. The soundtrack's so extremely important.
Very important. That's probably the you could watch a blank screen and just have the sound playing for one of those horror, and you experience the terror and the fear.
And the beauty of like a good horror game or movie is that you don't know that the sound is what's driving it.
Yeah.
You're so engrossed in whatever that is. You're not stopping and thinking, oh, I can hear that in the background. It's just kind of happening to you at that time.
That's it, man. I know with some of these horror films, I critique them quite a bit when I'm viewing it, and I'm like, why don't they just turn on the lights and stuff like that?
Yeah, don't go in there.
Come on. Obviously that door closed by itself. It's not the window. Yeah. But it's very important. I think that's the main goal for your game as well. It's like you have to ask yourself when you're making this kind of thing, what kind of experience or what kind of emotions do you want to drive from your player? Yeah.
Often we talk about some of these game dev concepts, and I think also we get like carried away in terms of making epic games.
Yeah, like you can always add more features to a game. It's keeping it simple that's pretty hard.
Yeah, and I mean, like if you're making, like, how do we relate this to like a mobile device in terms of, or a mobile game? You still want a response. So I think Candy Crush, as much as that game,
that is good. They did a lot of psychology.
Yeah, because the bright colors, the sounds, it's like slot machines.
Yeah,
slot machines. They got bright colors and sounds. They evoke a certain emotional response within you. You win, you get a high. You go, yes, this is the best. You lose the next how many games, and you're out of lives, right?
Yeah.
And you go, oh, well, I could wait an hour for the lives to recharge. I could pay $1.
Yeah.
And
$1 for a high?
Yeah. You know what I mean? And so
it's a good way to monetize it.
me personally, I'd be like, stuff that. I want to wait. I don't really care.
It didn't hook you in that much. That's why.
Like, because I'm like, I'll just download a different game, and
But for someone who gambles a lot and enjoys those kills, I reckon they would have paid.
And for people who wouldn't understand, like, the idea is to capture people out and go, oh, it's only $1, $30. You know, $50 later, $50 worth of transactions later. You know, like $50 for a mobile game. You know, you wouldn't pay. You pay $50 to $90 for an actual game. You know, for like a fully developed
AAA title.
Well, supposedly fully developed AAA title.
It could have been rushed through the
it could be like Assassin's Creed. You know, wheelchair edition. But so, you know, like even though you might think, create an emotional response in terms of large games, it also relates to smaller games as well, because, you know, like smaller mobile games that are short.
It's basically everything you do, like even in real life is a game. Life is a game.
Life's a game.
Real life 2, version 1. Yeah, anyway, that's one of the main things. I guess when you're creating games, main goal, got to create an experience. And there's quite a few ways to do it. But really what you want is like a response from your user, and you want to hook them using that.
And I think probably the best way to gauge that response would be playtesting.
Playtesting, for sure.
You know, like there's Play Up Perth. I've spoken about it earlier in the episode.
Yeah, getting those beta tests.
You know, where you literally just email the guys from Let's Make Games and go, hey, I'd like to be on the next Play Up, and they pretty much put you in. Like I don't know how big the waiting list or anything like that is, but you know, they'll make it available for you to go play test.
Yeah, you're providing content for people as well,
and you get feedback. So because I mean, like anything, if you're too close to something, if you're so deeply involved in something,
you're going to have a skewed vision of how it actually is.
Yep.
And when you're trying to market to a different audience, they may have different tastes to you.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
It's always good like that. Anywho, I think that does it for episode 6. We've covered a lot during this episode. We've rambled on a lot.
Yeah.
A
lot of rambling.
A lot of rambling. A lot of good rambling. I was quite interested with a few of the topics we had there. But anyway, most of the stuff that we've discussed during this episode will be available on our website, AussieDevs.com. In the podcast section, all the show notes will contain links to the games we've discussed.
So feel free to shout out to us, like I said before, at AussieDevs is our Twitter handle, and AussieDevs@gmail.com. We would really appreciate any feedback you guys have at all. Let us know if you hate us or love us or what you want us to talk about. If you want to come on the show, give us a shout out.
We'd always like to interview fellow game devs. It just makes it so much interesting to see what they've been through, you know, the journey that they've undertaken.
Righto. Well, thanks for listening, guys, and we'll catch you next episode.